Story 1, man. It feels like I've been caught in a whirlwind of chaos lately. Let me lay it all out for you. My fiancé and I, both in our late 20s, were on the cusp of tying the knot. We had spent months meticulously planning our dream wedding, from selecting the perfect venue to designing the invitations and everything in between. The excitement was palpable, and we were both eagerly anticipating the moment we'd say I do and embark on our journey together as husband and wife. However, as the wedding day drew nearer, I couldn't shake this unsettling feeling that something wasn't quite right. It started with subtle hints, a fleeting glance, an evasive answer, but gradually evolved into a nagging sense of doubt that gnawed at me from within. My fiancée's behavior seemed off, her smiles forced, her laughter hollow. I tried to dismiss it as pre-wedding jitters, but deep down, I knew there was more to it than that. Then, one day, as I stepped through the threshold of our home, I was greeted by an unfamiliar scent lingering in the air, a masculine aroma that sent alarm bells ringing in my mind. I brushed it off initially, attributing it to a variety of innocent explanations. Yet, as the days passed and the scent persisted, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something clandestine lurking beneath the surface. I broached the subject with my fiancée, casually mentioning the scent and inquiring about its origin. She feigned surprise, dismissing it as a trivial matter and attributing it to chance encounters in public places. But her response felt rehearsed, her demeanor guarded, and I couldn't shake the suspicion that she was hiding something from me. Driven by an insatiable need to uncover the truth, I devised a plan, a covert operation to uncover the secrets she was keeping from me. I discreetly installed a hidden camera in our living room, strategically positioned to capture any suspicious activity without arousing her suspicion. With bated breath, I waited, hoping to glean insights into the enigma shrouding my fiancé's behavior. Days turned into nights, and nights into weeks, as I maintained a facade of normalcy, concealing my clandestine investigation from my unsuspecting fiancé. It wasn't until I reviewed the footage from the hidden camera that the truth was laid bare before me, a truth so devastating it shook me to my core. There she was, my beloved fiancée, entwined in a passionate embrace with a close mutual friend, a betrayal so profound it felt like a dagger to the heart. They laughed, they kissed, they whispered sweet nothings to each other, all behind my back, in the sanctity of our own home. It was a betrayal that cut deeper than words could express, leaving me reeling in disbelief and anguish. Yet, amidst the pain and betrayal, a steely resolve began to take root within me, a resolve to confront my fiancée and hold her accountable for her actions. I didn't confront her right away, though. Instead, I bided my time, waiting for the opportune moment to unveil the truth and expose her deceit. As the wedding day loomed ever closer, I grappled with conflicting emotions, anger, betrayal, heartache. Yet, I knew that I couldn't let her deception go unchecked. So, with a heavy heart and a mind consumed by turmoil, I made the decision to proceed with the wedding, all the while harboring the damning evidence that would shatter her world to pieces. The day of the wedding arrived, and amidst the flurry of activity and excitement, I maintained a facade of composure, concealing the storm of emotions raging within me. I exchanged pleasantries with guests, smiled for photographs, and played the part of the blissfully unaware groom-to-be, all the while acutely aware of the bombshell I was about to drop. As the ceremony unfolded and the moment of truth drew near, I felt a knot form in the pit of my stomach, a potent mixture of anticipation and dread. Then, as the priest posed the fateful question, asking if anyone objected to the union, I seized the opportunity to unveil the truth. "I do," I declared, the words ringing out with a clarity and conviction that belied the turmoil raging within me. The guests chuckled nervously, uncertain if my declaration was genuine or merely a jest. Yet, as I beckoned our mutual friend forward, their expressions turned to shock and disbelief. With trembling hands and a heart heavy with sorrow, I delivered the final blow, a pen drive containing the incriminating footage, entrusted to the DJ with explicit instructions to play it for all to see. And as the truth was laid bare before the eyes of our guests, my fiancé's facade crumbled, replaced by a raw and unfiltered anguish that tore at my soul. The fallout was swift and chaotic, a whirlwind of accusations, recriminations, and shattered illusions. My fiancée wept openly, her pleas for forgiveness falling on deaf ears, while our mutual friend slunk away into the shadows, his betrayal exposed for all to see. In the aftermath of the revelation, I made the painful decision to call off the wedding, returning the rings and severing the ties that bound us together. It was a decision born out of necessity, fueled by a desire to preserve what little remained of my shattered dignity and self-respect. In the days that followed, I found myself grappling with a maelstrom of conflicting emotions: grief, anger, and a profound sense of loss. Yet, amidst the chaos and turmoil, a glimmer of hope began to emerge, a hope for a future untainted by deceit and betrayal, a future where I could reclaim my sense of self-worth and rebuild what had been torn asunder. As I navigated the tumultuous waters of heartbreak and disillusionment, I found solace in the unwavering support of friends and loved ones, whose steadfast presence provided a beacon of light in the darkest of times. Their words of encouragement and acts of kindness served as a lifeline, guiding me through the storm and reminding me that I was not alone in my struggle. And so, with each passing day, I took tentative steps forward, slowly but surely reclaiming my sense of agency and self-assurance. I sought solace in the healing embrace of nature, finding solace amidst the tranquility of the great outdoors. I immersed myself in creative pursuits, channeling my pain and sorrow into works of art that spoke to the depths of my soul. In time, the wounds began to heal, and the scars that had once marred my spirit faded into insignificance. I emerged from the crucible of heartbreak stronger and more resilient than before, my spirit tempered by adversity and fortified by the knowledge that I had faced my demons and emerged victorious. As I look back on the tumultuous events that led me to this point, I am filled with a sense of gratitude for the trials that tested my resolve, the lessons that shaped my character, and the unwavering support of those who stood by me in my darkest hour. And though the road ahead may be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, I walk it with my head held high, secure in the knowledge that I am stronger than I ever thought possible. Update. So, here's the latest development in the saga. My ex's parents have finally come around and agreed to reimburse me for all the wedding expenses. It wasn't an easy decision for them. That much was clear from the look of stress etched on their faces when we discussed it. Despite everything that's happened between their daughter and me, I couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for them. It's like they're caught in the crossfire of this whole ordeal, torn between their loyalty to their daughter and the fallout from her actions. I can only imagine the internal conflict they must be wrestling with behind closed doors. While they may have made some questionable choices along the way, they're still family, and seeing them struggle weighs heavily on my conscience. The situation is undeniably complicated, navigating the delicate balance between holding individuals accountable for their actions and maintaining familial bonds. But amidst the chaos, there's a glimmer of solace in the fact that they've chosen to honor their commitment to cover the wedding expenses. It may seem like a small victory in the grand scheme of things, but in times like these, every positive outcome counts. As I reflect on the situation, I can't help but marvel at the intricacies of human relationships and the complexities of forgiveness and reconciliation. While the wounds inflicted may run deep, there's still room for empathy and understanding, even in the face of betrayal and heartache. Moving forward, I'm reminded of the importance of finding closure and resolution, not just for my own sake, but for the sake of all those involved. By extending a hand of forgiveness and embracing the healing power of compassion, we can begin to mend the broken pieces of our fractured relationships and forge a path towards healing and reconciliation. In the end, while the road ahead may be fraught with challenges and obstacles, I take comfort in knowing that I'm not alone in this journey. With the support of friends, family, and even unexpected allies, I'm confident that I can navigate the twists and turns of life's tumultuous journey and emerge stronger and more resilient on the other side. So, as I bid farewell to the past and embrace the promise of a brighter future, I do so with a renewed sense of hope and optimism. While the scars of the past may serve as a reminder of the trials we've endured, they also bear witness to our strength and resilience in the face of adversity. And so, with each step forward, I carry with me the lessons learned, the wisdom gained, and the unwavering belief that no matter what challenges lie ahead, I have the power within me to overcome them. For in the end, it is not the obstacles we face that define us, but rather how we choose to confront and overcome them. Story 2. So, let me lay it all out for you. I'm not exactly a spring chicken, and last November, I had to make one of the toughest decisions of my life, walking away from my ex-wife Z, who's 37. Our relationship had been on shaky ground for quite some time, and I knew deep down that I needed a change. Back in March, Z proposed something that caught me off guard. She suggested we give an open relationship a shot. You see, we'd been dealing with physical distance and her dwindling interest in intimacy for a while. She claimed it was for my benefit and even mentioned she'd discussed the idea of a threesome with a mutual acquaintance, A. It seemed like a bold move, but I figured, why not? I agreed, but not without laying down some ground rules. Veto power over any questionable partners, strict adherence to using protection, and above all, complete honesty between us. Fast forward about a month, Z drops a bombshell. She asks me to take the kids to my parents' place for the weekend so she can have a friend over from work. Now I'm thinking, hey, this sounds a lot like that conversation about A. But when I bring it up, Z plays dumb, acting like she has no clue what I'm talking about. She even goes as far as to make me question my own sanity, suggesting I might need antipsychotics. It was a mind game, to say the least. But then, when I come back home, the scent of sex hangs heavy in the air, and I catch them red-handed on camera, taking a smoke break like it's no big deal. Z's response? Deny, deny, deny. She gaslights me, making me feel like I'm the crazy one for even questioning her actions. It was a gut-wrenching moment that shattered whatever trust was left between us. Over the following months, while I'm busy taking care of the kids, Z's out gallivanting on dates. Our relationship continues to crumble, and her behavior becomes increasingly hurtful. She belittles me, undermines my self-worth, and brushes off my concerns about her safety like they're nothing. It's like I'm invisible to her, and it hurts like hell. Then comes the kicker. Z starts seeing this guy, C, who I know from way back in high school. He's got a sketchy past, and I've got a bad feeling about him. But when I try to voice my concerns, Z shuts me down, refusing to acknowledge the red flags waving right in front of her face. It dredges up all these painful memories from our past, and it's like reopening old wounds that never fully healed. But things hit rock bottom when C drops the bomb. He wants Z to divorce me so they can start a family together. When I confront her about it, she refuses to make a choice, leaving me with no other option but to make it for her. I pack my bags and walk away, leaving behind a marriage that's been shattered beyond repair. Now, I find myself in the aftermath, grappling with the daunting task of rebuilding my life from the ground up. Let me tell you, it's no easy feat. There are moments when I feel adrift, engulfed by a sense of loneliness and despair that threatens to consume me. While Z is busy deflecting responsibility and casting blame, I refuse to be ensnared in her web of manipulation and gaslighting any longer. The truth of the matter is clear. Z's actions shattered the vows we once held sacred, tearing our marriage asunder. Her attempts to shift the blame onto others only serve to highlight her own culpability in the demise of our relationship. But I refuse to allow her to distort the truth to suit her own narrative. I refuse to be a passive participant in her deceptive game. It's time for me to reclaim control of my life, to reaffirm my self-worth, and to chart a course forward for myself and my children. I will not allow Z's toxicity to linger in my life any longer. Instead, I will forge ahead with determination, leaving behind the wreckage of our failed marriage in the rearview mirror. As I embark on this journey of self-discovery and healing, I am reminded of the strength that resides within me. While the road ahead may be fraught with challenges, I am resolved to face them head-on, fortified by the knowledge that I am deserving of love, respect, and happiness. In the face of adversity, I find solace in the unwavering support of friends and family who stand by my side, offering words of encouragement and acts of kindness that serve as beacons of light in the darkness. With their steadfast support, I am empowered to confront the trials that lie ahead with courage and resilience. As I take each step forward, I am guided by a renewed sense of purpose and determination. I refuse to allow the wounds of the past to define me or dictate the trajectory of my future. Instead, I embrace the opportunity for growth and transformation that arises from adversity, confident in my ability to emerge from the crucible of hardship stronger and more resilient than ever before. And so, with my head held high and my heart ablaze with determination, I press onward, leaving behind the shadows of the past and embracing the promise of a brighter tomorrow. For in the end, it is not the challenges we face that define us, but rather, the strength and resilience with which we confront them. Story 3, all right. Buckle up, because here's the lowdown. I'm a 30-year-old dude, been engaged to my fiancée for a good 4 years now. We've been together for over a decade, weathering the storms and enjoying the sunshine like any couple out there. But little did I know, trouble was brewing on the horizon. It all started about 6 months back when my fiancée landed a new job. She made some new pals at work, which was all fine and dandy. But then things started feeling a bit off kilter. Suddenly, she's out till the wee hours of the morning, either partying with her work crew or crashing at her sister's place without bothering to swing by home. Now, call me naive, but at the time, I chalked it up to her adjusting to the new gig. Boy, was I wrong. Fast forward to a beach trip she took with her supposed work buddies, and that's when the plot thickens. Little did I know, she's out there hitting it off with some dude at a bar, and before you know it, they're hopping into bed together. I only found out about this bombshell 8 weeks back when she waltzed back from the trip and casually dropped the bomb that she needed a break from our engagement and our whole relationship. Talk about blindsided. Naturally, I'm there, trying to salvage what's left of us. I suggest counseling, plead for her to stay, but she's dead set on dipping out and crashes at her sister's pad. Eventually, she does come back, saying she's down to give fixing things a shot, so we reluctantly agree to give couples therapy a whirl. But just when you think the roller coaster's hit its peak, here comes the next gut punch. About 3 weeks back, she hits me with the news that she's pregnant again. Now, you'd think I'd be over the moon, right? Wrong. Turns out she's been carrying on an affair behind my back, and surprise, surprise, the other dude's the real baby daddy. Talk about having the rug yanked out from under you. I'm sitting there, trying to wrap my head around the fact that my whole world's been turned upside down, all while she's grappling with the idea of terminating the pregnancy. It's a mess, to say the least. As if that's not enough, this guy has the gall to suggest that I raise the kid like some kind of consolation prize. Can you believe it? The nerve. It's pretty clear they've been whispering sweet nothings about me behind my back, and if I hadn't insisted on a paternity test, I might have been none the wiser. Dodged a bullet there, I reckon. So now I'm holed up at my folks' place, nursing a broken heart and mourning not just the end of my engagement, but also the loss of our furry friend who's now part of her entourage. It's a whole mess, and I'm feeling like I'm stuck in some kind of surreal nightmare, trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces and move on. But hey, I've been scrolling through the comments section, and let me tell you, the outpouring of support from complete strangers has been nothing short of a lifesaver. It's a small comfort in the midst of all this chaos, but I'll take what I can get. Update, so here's the latest scoop on my end. I've managed to clear out a whopping 85% of my belongings from our shared space, and the remainder is safely tucked away in storage. We went through the motions of sorting out what was left in the apartment, bidding farewell without any lingering affection. It's been radio silence between us ever since. Taking care of the nitty-gritty details, I went ahead and canceled the car insurance, and now I'm just twiddling my thumbs, waiting to hear back about any potential early termination fees from our landlord. Luckily, I haven't forked over any cash yet, and it seems like my account on their online portal has been deactivated, so that's one less thing to worry about. Despite the whirlwind of emotions and upheaval, I've surprisingly been holding up pretty darn well. Not a single tear shed over the demise of our relationship or the end of the chapter with her. In fact, I've been reveling in this newfound sense of freedom and liberation. My days are packed with activities, from hitting the gym to picking up extra gigs and diving headfirst into my hobbies. And get this, I've even got some exciting plans in the works. Me and one of my closest buddies are gearing up for a thrilling rock climbing and hiking expedition. It's like I'm finally spreading my wings and embracing life in all its glory. Call it cheesy if you want, but I genuinely believe that my future's looking brighter than ever before. Story 4. All right, let's delve deeper into the intricacies of my journey with my wife, starting from the vibrant streets of Madrid in 2008. Picture this, the hustle and bustle of the city, the lively atmosphere buzzing around us as we stumbled upon each other in the most unexpected of ways. Our meeting was pure serendipity, one of those rare moments when the universe seems to conspire in your favor. From the moment our eyes met, there was an instant connection, a spark that ignited something special between us. Those first 3 days we spent together felt like a whirlwind romance straight out of a movie. We laughed, we talked, we explored every corner of the city hand in hand, our hearts overflowing with the warmth of newfound love. But all good things must come to an end, and soon it was time for her to return home. As she boarded that plane, we made a silent vow to defy the odds, to make this long-distance relationship work against all odds. In the early stages of our relationship, my wife opened up to me about a mistake from her past, a fleeting indiscretion that had left her consumed with guilt. It was a moment of vulnerability that took me by surprise, but I chose to extend forgiveness, believing in the power of love to heal even the deepest of wounds. As our relationship blossomed, we decided to take the next step and tie the knot. We exchanged vows in a small ceremony surrounded by our loved ones, pledging our eternal love and commitment to each other. It was a day filled with joy and promise, a celebration of our unbreakable bond. But just when we thought we had it all figured out, life threw us a curveball. Amidst the excitement of expecting our first child, my wife dropped a bombshell on me. She confessed to a painful truth, a truth that threatened to tear apart the very fabric of our marriage. Her confession shook me to the core, leaving me reeling with shock and disbelief. The specter of infidelity cast a dark shadow over our unborn child, plunging us into a maelstrom of uncertainty and despair. It felt like the ground had been pulled out from under me, leaving me grasping for solid ground. Faced with the stark reality of paternity uncertainty, I made the agonizing decision to confront the truth head-on. We underwent a paternity test, the results of which served as a damning indictment, confirming my worst fears and plunging me into a vortex of anguish and despair. In the wake of this devastating revelation, our marriage teetered on the brink of collapse. The foundations of our relationship were shaken to their core, and despite my earnest efforts to salvage what we had, my wife's actions spoke louder than words. The discovery of her clandestine affair plunged me into the depths of despair, leaving me grappling with a profound sense of loss and betrayal. As the facade of marital bliss crumbled before my eyes, I found myself standing at the precipice of an uncertain future, my heart heavy with the weight of unspoken truths. But despite the overwhelming odds stacked against us, we made the decision to fight for our marriage. We embarked on a journey of reconciliation, a journey fraught with pitfalls and obstacles at every turn. It was a rocky road, to say the least, but amidst the chaos, a glimmer of hope remained. Yet, try as we might, the specter of infidelity loomed large over our fragile reconciliation. The wounds of betrayal ran deep, leaving scars that refused to heal. Trust was like a delicate flower, crushed under the weight of lies and deceit. As our marriage unraveled before our eyes, I was faced with a stark realization, the inevitability of our impending separation. The thought of divorce filled me with a profound sense of sorrow and regret, but I knew deep down that it was the only path forward. In the aftermath of our separation, I found myself grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. Grief, anger, and profound sadness consumed me, threatening to drown me in their depths. Yet, amidst the turmoil, a glimmer of hope remained, a belief in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. Though the road ahead may be fraught with uncertainty, I am determined to forge ahead with courage and resilience. I walk forward with faith in the transformative power of love, trusting that it will guide me through the darkest of times. As I bid farewell to the ghosts of yesterday, I embrace the promise of a new beginning. It is a journey of self-discovery and renewal, unencumbered by the weight of past regrets. In the quiet moments of solitude, I find solace in the simple pleasures of life, the beauty of a sunset, the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. As I embark on this journey of self-discovery, I am filled with a sense of gratitude for the lessons learned and the challenges overcome. Though the road may be long and arduous, I walk forward with faith and determination, trusting in the transformative power of love to light the way. Update, all right. Let's dive into the aftermath of that bombshell revelation from the paternity test results. It was like a grenade had been tossed into the fragile sanctuary of our marriage, shattering everything we thought we knew about our future. Suddenly, we were faced with a monumental decision regarding the pregnancy hanging over us like a dark cloud. At first, my wife hesitated about raising the baby alone if we were to go through with a divorce. It was a daunting prospect for both of us, and the weight of that decision hung heavy in the air. Eventually, after much soul-searching and countless discussions, we reached a painful agreement: termination. It was a choice born out of necessity, a gut-wrenching decision made in the hope of sparing all involved from further anguish. Yet, even as we agreed on this course of action, another unthinkable suggestion surfaced, one that added yet another layer of complexity to our already tumultuous situation. My wife floated the idea of raising the child conceived with the man she had cheated with. Can you believe it? It was like a sucker punch to the gut. Despite my initial shock and disbelief, I found myself entertaining the possibility, grasping at straws in the desperate hope that our relationship could somehow weather this storm. But as the dust settled and reality began to sink in, I couldn't ignore the nagging doubts gnawing at the edges of my mind. I clung to the belief that the pregnancy stemmed from a one-night stand during a weekend getaway with her friends. It was a feeble attempt to make sense of the chaos swirling around us, to find some semblance of solace in the midst of the storm. However, as time passed and the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place, the truth became painfully clear. Her supposed trip with friends was nothing but a carefully constructed lie, a smokescreen designed to conceal her infidelity. It was a devastating revelation, one that shattered the fragile veneer of trust that remained between us. The realization struck me like a thunderbolt, leaving me reeling with a potent mix of emotions: anger, sorrow, and an overwhelming sense of disillusionment. How could she betray me like this? How could she lie to my face, day after day, without a shred of remorse? In the wake of this revelation, I was forced to confront the harsh reality of our situation. The foundation upon which our marriage had been built was now crumbling beneath the weight of betrayal and deceit. It was a bitter pill to swallow, a stark reminder of the impermanence of love and the frailty of human relationships. Despite the overwhelming pain and heartache that accompanied this realization, I knew that I could no longer turn a blind eye to the truth. The time had come to confront the stark reality of our situation head-on, to embrace the painful truth and chart a course towards healing and redemption. With a heavy heart and a sense of profound sadness, I made the agonizing decision to initiate divorce proceedings. It was a choice born out of necessity, a necessary step towards reclaiming my sense of self-worth and dignity. Though the road ahead would undoubtedly be fraught with challenges and obstacles, I knew that it was the only path forward. As I navigated the turbulent waters of divorce, I found solace in the unwavering support of friends and loved ones. Their words of encouragement and acts of kindness served as a beacon of hope in the darkest of times, reminding me that I was not alone in my struggle. In the midst of adversity, I discovered a newfound sense of strength and resilience, a strength born out of adversity and forged in the crucible of suffering. Though the scars of betrayal may linger, I refuse to let them define me. Instead, I choose to embrace the promise of a brighter tomorrow, a tomorrow filled with hope, healing, and the possibility of new beginnings. As I bid farewell to the shattered remnants of a broken relationship, I am filled with a sense of cautious optimism for the future. Though the road ahead may be fraught with uncertainty, I walk forward with courage and determination, knowing that I possess the strength and resilience to overcome whatever obstacles may lie in my path. In the end, it is not the trials and tribulations we face that define us, but rather how we choose to respond to them. And so I choose to embrace the challenges before me with grace and resilience, knowing that each obstacle we overcome brings us one step closer to the light at the end of the tunnel.